Yo, what's up, it's Fish with another episode of The Complete Guide to Maplestory. I'm trying to get this video out as quickly as possible because we're at the start of launch and when people are already making mistakes, as you would expect, and I'm trying to help people figure out weapons. So this is the complete noob's guide to weapons in Maplestory. Weapons are the most important thing for you. The armor's good, but it's defense, and it's not going to affect how you kill things in the game. So we'll get into armor in another episode, but most importantly for you is your weapon. And of course, you want your weapon to be the best weapon you could be. When you start off the game, they give you a weapon. It's not the best weapon, but you want the best weapon. Now, there are even better weapons that come from the gacha chests, and you can fuse for weapons with emblems on them, and that's really end game and super ultra rare stuff. So we're just going to talk about you as a normal player acquiring a good weapon so that when you level that weapon up, it becomes the best attack weapon for your class. We'll talk about types, generally speaking, but most importantly, we're going to talk about what kind of weapon you should be upgrading. So hopefully you got this video before you started upgrading your weapon. I'm guessing you might not have. Don't worry, you're not that far in the game. We're like 2 days in. Even if you're watching this video in the future, there's always time to start all over again, and there's no better time for your weapon than right now. So if you're just starting out in the game and you're following the series from the beginning, your weapon should, before you max it, be a max attack normal weapon. You need to get a max attack normal weapon. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but let me just start from the beginning. So if I go into the trade station over here, and we look at equipment, I'm going to give you an example for a bow, for an archer. If you look at all the normal weapons, you'll see under bracer for boss attack percentage, all sorts of different numbers for physical attack. Normal is the base weapon that you can get. You're looking at weapons without any stars or any upgrades. I see 24s and 23s and 26s and 25s, 28s, 23s, all across the board. Now, the variance is very small, right? It's very small. There's little numbers, there's bigger numbers, but the variance between those little and big numbers is very small. If we now look at the rare weapons, which is what the normal will become when we upgrade it in the forge, and we look at the bracers, we see other numbers, higher numbers of course, but the variance starts to get bigger. There's 187s, there's 201s, if we look at other bows, 181s, 219s, 197s. So the range is getting bigger. If we go up to epic and we look at bows again, we see that the range gets even bigger. We got 572, we got 592, 588, 646. We're almost at 100 difference in physical attack between little and big that already started off as normal, between very small differences in numbers. If there's stuff with unique, you can see even more that we're getting variances by even greater numbers. There's a 1299 or 1291 rather, but there's also an 1144. So this guy with the 1291, he's doing X amount more damage than the guy who's got the 1144, and it was all based on what weapon they started off with originally. I'll tell you right off the bat, if you're looking in the auction house, you're not going to find anything greater than a rare at max attack, and in most cases, apart from the spear for the warrior, the Dark Knight as it were, you're not going to find anything beyond a normal. If we're at the beginning of the game and it's global launch, you're going to want to stock the auction house for a max normal weapon. So, in short, a max normal weapon is going to give you a max rare and a max epic and a max unique and a max legendary. If you take a look at my weapon right now, my bracer bow is 4010 attack. It's got 12 stars on it, but this started off as a max attack normal bow. So we'll go through each class and I'll tell you what the max attack normal is, and that's exactly and the only place that you want to be starting. You might say, Fish, I found a 27 instead of a 28 max. Is 27 okay? And you might think it's okay. People might tell you it's okay, but it's not okay. Your weapon's end game. It's the most important. You're going to carry it with you all along. You're going to upgrade it to mythic eventually, and you're going to cry when somebody tells you the damage on their max weapon when you chose to upgrade something less than that. So heed these warnings. As far as a spear goes for a warrior, the max attack is 27. Okay? You're probably not going to find it here in the trade station. The max rare for this, I'm going to give you the max rare for the spear just because you're probably not going to find a 27. I don't see 27 normals. Not sure if it's a bug or something, but you'll occasionally see rares that are 220, and you'll see that there's some that are 200 and some that are 187. So if you upgraded a crappy weapon at normal, you already got a 187. Some guys already dealing almost 40 more damage or 40 more physical attack than you at rare. So you're looking for a 27 normal or a 220 rare on the warrior. Moving on to the archer. If you're an archer, you're looking for a normal bow that is 28, okay? And you're going to try and spend as little as possible, right? People are going to realize this very quickly, and they're going to price them accordingly. So try and scoop one up very, very cheap. If you got to pay a little bit and you're sitting on some mesos, it's okay because you didn't upgrade the wrong weapon. Wait until you have the right weapon. If you're desperate for another weapon, just grab another cheap weapon. Wait till you get an epic dungeon or whatever. You'll get an epic weapon. Just slap it on as your gear. You'll be dealing damage. You don't have to worry about it. The one you're leveling up, the one that you're upgrading, your weapon needs to be a max attack normal. So for a bow, max attack normal is 28. Moving on, we're looking at the thief, which is the Night Lord. Your max attack normal for a thief is going to be 29. And there is one in the shop over here. Crazy expensive. So just troll the auction house. Stock it, stock it, stock it. You'll find your max attack normal. 29 for a claw. Moving on. Magician is our bishop. And the bishop is going to... You're looking for a J and 1 at bishop. We'll go through the stats and also afterwards. But you're looking for a 30. Any wand you're looking for is going to be a 30. A normal base max attack. 30. Got it? Good. Moving on. We're looking at the pirate, which is the corsair. A normal gun for a pirate corsair is going to be 28. 28. All right, so grab your 28. I would have grabbed this on my server at 500k, but you can find one for 100 or 10 or 15. People are looting these things into the auction house day one. They're trying to sell them off, and they have no idea what they're worth. So just look at the auction house, keep hitting that refresh, find your max normal weapon at a cheap price. When it comes to making mesos and the auction house, that's probably the starting point for you buying and selling. Buying cheap, selling high. Make your money off the whales or off the people who know they want a max damage weapon and they can't afford it. Sell it for 1,000,000 mesos. Sell it for whatever the market dictates. Buy it cheap, sell it high. But for you and your weapon, more importantly than buying and making mesos, you need a max attack normal weapon. Let's very quickly talk about stats. Okay? So, stats, generally speaking, and it could change, and I might be wrong about some things, but I'm pretty right about almost everything. So let me know in the comments if I screwed it up at all. Okay, as far as Maplestory goes, endgame is going to be boss percentage for most classes, with the exception of Bishop, who can't kill anything anymore, as should be rightfully so for the Bishop. It was nerfed, it was OP before, at global launch, Bishop is just a normal Bishop, so you're probably going to want to increase other stats. When you're looking to see what the bonus on any weapon is, you can't see it on normal. As you can see when I go to this weapon, you see magic attack, and you see the scissor cuts. The bonuses don't appear until the rare, right? So if I go to spear and rare, now you'll be able to see when I click on the weapon that this one, the bloody spear, is crit rate. Most people would assume that when you're looking for a weapon, you're going to be looking for crit rate. I'll tell you right now, for most classes, they crit pretty well, and crit in this game, it caps at 40%. So, while crit rate is very important, crit damage, which is the modifier on that crit attack, on the crit itself, okay, that is more important, especially when it comes to classes that can deal many lines on their main attacks. Those classes would include the Dark Knight with the spear. They would also definitely include the Bishop with the wand. They would 100% include the Corsair with the gun. So moving down the list, I'll give you my idea as to what the top two are going to be. You're probably never going to choose Utgard. If you see somebody with an upgraded Utgard, say you're sorry. Give them some mesos, give them a hug, offer them some consolation. They just bought a crappy weapon. But as you can see, if I wanted to check Utgard, and I'm like, what does Utgard do? You can't see on normal, but if you do, you can go to Warrior, Spear, Rare, search, Utgard, click on the Utgard, and you'll see that this one is XP increase. So it's probably the worst thing that you can go for. Alright, so let's move down the classes. I'll tell you what my favorites are in terms of what you're going to get, and then you can tell me I'm wrong or I'm right. But I'm pretty right. So as far as warrior goes for the spear, you're looking for Bracer, which is boss percentage, or you're looking for JN. And JN is always going to be your crit damage percentage. So if you're trying to max on a skill with a lot of lines, then you're going to go for JN. You're not going to be dealing end game like boss damage percentage for a long time, but end game is boss percentage if you're an attacking class. So either play boss percentage at Bracer or go with your JN. Those are your two options. Moving forward, we're going to the archer on the bow. Now archers do pretty good crit. You're not going to need the eye post, but I'm going for Bracer on boss attack. You could go for a Jahan on damage, but archers, they don't deal a lot of lines on their main skills. So unlike the other classes that I mentioned before, you're probably not going to want to prioritize Jahan for an archer, in my opinion. It's your choice. I'd use that, or I'd go with Bracer, and that's why I have a Bracer right now. That's my main. I haven't cubed it at all, but I'll cube it later in another episode. But you can see my Bracer. It's level 25 max level. It's ready to upgrade to a mythic, and it's got 12 stars right now. And you can see that its boss attack increase is already 4.6%. So endgame bossing, very key for attacking classes. So you can choose that on the archer. Moving on, we're going to go to the thief and the claw. And I suggest to you that you're either going to do the same thing. Again, you're going to go for boss attack increase, or you're going to go for Jahan. Your call. I like boss percent, for sure. Mad endgame. We're going to be killing a lot of bosses, but until then, we got to get up to level 150, right? Moving on. We're looking at the magician, the bishop, in the wand. My guess, you're not going to be killing a lot of bosses yourself, so boss percentage increase is not going to be as effective as your other skills, which buff and utility and do a lot more than just attack. They're the most important aspects of a group play without dying. So I would go for Jahan as well. You're dealing a lot of lines. Go for a Jahan wand. Remember, you're going for a 30 normal Jahan wand. As far as the pirate goes and the gun, again, same suggestion. You're an attack class. You deal a lot of damage. In fact, Bracer or Corsair has arguably the best boss damage, like melee target damage, like boss percentage damage, boss damage in the game. So you're going to go for either Bracer for boss damage, but you're dealing a lot of crit damage on the Corsair. It is a coin toss for me, man. You might want to go for Jahan as well. It's either Jahan or Bracer. Regardless what your choice is, remember, you're going for max attack, which is 28. I haven't annotated it or put any visuals on here, so you're just going to have to go through the video and take my word. Thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. You could be anywhere on the internet, but you're here with me. If there's anything that you can take from this video, it's everything I said. Get yourself a max attack normal weapon before you start upgrading anything. Materials are very sparse, they're very difficult to come by, and you're going to be very upset when all that time and effort and dollars or mesos or materials get put into the weapon that's not as good as the weapon that you could have just because you decided to not figure it out yourself, not watch my video or somebody else's info, or you just rushed into upgrading something without, getting to know it. Or worse yet, you weren't patient and you wanted to get something because you thought the 27 be as good as the 28. I'll wrap it up really quickly by repeating all the classes very quickly for the max attack damages. The spear is 27 on normal and 220 on rare. The bow is 28 max damage on normal. The bishop is 30 max attack on the wand. The Night Lord is 29 max attack on the claw. And the Corsair is 28 max attack on the gun. Guys, if you like the video and the content, please hit the like and subscribe to me. I do stream every night on Fishsticks, and I love it when people come hang out. We have a lot of fun there on Twitch, twitch.tv/Fishsticks. You catch me on Twitter and on Discord as well. Drop the lines below if you want to check it out there. If you have any questions, hit them in the comments below. Thank you so much for checking out the video. I hope you're having a good time. Let me know how you're enjoying the game in the comments, man. I hope you're finding the videos of value, but I just hope you're enjoying yourself more so than anything. I'm having so much fun with this game. It's literally a dream. You could probably hear it in my voice, but it's fine. I'm loving it, and I hope you are too. Have yourselves a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Love your balls.